Welcome. Today we're doing a focused deep dive into the very latest developments in prostate cancer treatment based on the information we've gathered.
Yes, the goal is really to pull out the key updates on these emerging therapies and trials, a direct look at what's new.
Exactly. Let's jump right into the clinical trials. First up, Kesonotide.
Right, Kesonotide. This one's described as a first-in-class drug with a dual action. It works as both an anti-inflammatory and effectively a chemotherapy agent.
Okay, dual action. How does that work exactly?
Well, it functions by blocking certain inflammatory proteins, specifically H group 2, a secreted phospholipase 2. The idea is that blocking this inhibits vimentin.
And Vimentin is important for.
It's understood to be pretty crucial for cancer cell survival and also for shaping the tumor microenvironment, the TME.
Ah, I see. So what's potentially quite interesting here is that it seems to hit both the cancer cells and their local support system.
That's the thinking.
Mm.
And importantly, it seems to do this without harming healthy cells or, immune cells.
So a kind of targeted double attack, potentially gentler overall. Was there an early study?
Yes, there was a small first-in-human pilot study. 12 men with advanced prostate cancer. It confirmed oral bioavailability, so it works as a pill and it looks safe and tolerable.
Okay, promising start. And now there's a bigger trial.
Correct. Building on that, the ADVICE Phase 1b/2, a clinical trial, is getting underway.
ADVICE. Okay, what does that involve?
It's an adaptive, multi-center, open-label study. They're aiming for up to 80 patients
With prostate cancer.
with various advanced solid cancers, actually lung, prostate, breast, ovary, pancreas, head and neck, bowel, even glioblastoma. It includes patients who've progressed on standard treatments or can't or won't use them.
Got it. And the treatment.
It's a daily oral dose, just Kesonotide on its own, for up to 6 months.
And the adaptive part.
That design allows researchers to sort of learn as they go and identify which cancer types seem to respond best.
Makes sense. Okay, next on the list is MK2400, also called Ifinatamab Deruxtecan.
Yes, MK2400. This is an investigational antibody drug conjugate in ADC.
An ADC, and it targets TROP2.
Exactly.
Yeah.
TROP2 is a protein that's often overexpressed on various solid tumors. Its presence is generally linked with more tumor growth and, unfortunately, a poorer prognosis.
So the ADC strategy here is deliver a toxin directly.
Pretty much. The antibody part seeks out and binds to 2OP2 on the cancer cells, and then it delivers its cytotoxic payload, the drug, right where it's needed, like a, guided missile.
Have we seen this work elsewhere?
There have been some encouraging preliminary results, actually. In heavily pretreated non-small cell lung cancer patients, they saw a 52.4% objective response rate.
Wow, that's quite high.
It included a nearly 5% complete response rate, too.
Okay, and now it's being looked at for prostate cancer.
Yes, specifically for metastatic castration-resistant prostate cancer, mCRPC. A Phase 1 trial is expected to start enrolling around June 2025.
Phase 1, so the focus is mainly.
Safety, definitely. Tolerability in these mCRPC patients, and finding the right dose, the recommended dose moving forward.
Understood. Let's move to GEN1057. This sounds like a different approach again, a bispecific antibody.
That's right, GEN1057, or DuoBody FAP alpha XDR4. It's quite cutting edge. It's designed to target two different things simultaneously.
Okay, what are the targets?
One is death receptor 4, or DR4, which is found on cancer cells. The other is fibroblast activation protein alpha, FAP alpha, which is on cancer-associated fibroblasts, or CAFS.
And those CAFs are important in prostate cancer.
Yes, they're very common in the tumor microenvironment of many solid tumors, including advanced and metastatic prostate cancer. They sort of help the tumor.
So it's engaging the cancer cell and these helper cells. What's the mechanism?
This is the clever part. It uses what they call conditional activation. GEN1057 only activates that death receptor, DR4, when FAP alpha is nearby, on one of those fibroblasts.
Ah, so it needs both signals in the same place.
Precisely. This proximity requirement triggers programmed cell death apoptosis, specifically in the cancer cells. But the hope is it avoids the liver toxicity seen with older drugs that just broadly targeted DR4.
That makes sense, much more targeted. Is this in trials now?
Yes, there's an ongoing Phase 1 trial, NCT 065739294, looking at safety and early signs of effectiveness in patients with various advanced solid tumors.
Okay, one more in the clinical trial stage. You flagged CD001.
Yes, CD001, another novel immunotherapy just entering Phase 1 trials for solid tumors.
And this one also has a dual approach. I see it blocks PD-1.
Correct. It simultaneously blocks the PD-1 immune checkpoint, which cancer often uses to hide from the immune system.
Right, like taking the brakes off the immune cells.
Exactly. But it also delivers a specially mutated form of a cytokine, IL-21, directly to the same T cells that express PD-1.
So it's taking off the brakes and hitting the accelerator on the right immune cells?
That's a good way to put it. The aim is to really wake up the immune system more effectively, boost the activity of the killer CD8 positive T cells, and maximize tumor killing.
While minimizing side effects.
Hopefully, yes. By delivering the cytokine directly, the goal is to avoid the systemic side effects you sometimes get when cytokines circulate throughout the body.
Has this shown promise before human trials?
The preclinical work looked good. It showed superior anti-tumor activity in mouse models, melanoma, lung cancer, lymphoma, and seemed to have a decent safety profile in primates.
And the relevance for prostate cancer?
Well, prostate cancer often has a very immunosuppressive environment, and single-agent checkpoint inhibitors like PD-1 blockers alone haven't had huge success there. So this kind of dual approach might offer a new way forward.
Okay, that covers the clinical trials we wanted to highlight. Let's shift now to the preclinical work. First, STV-2102, another ADC.
Yes, STV-2102 is an antibody-drug conjugate, this one targeting PSMA.
PSMA, prostate-specific membrane antigen. Very well-known target in prostate cancer, especially MCRPC.
Exactly, it's often highly expressed there. This ADC uses a novel antibody called D10, which apparently has exceptional binding to PSMA.
And the payload?
It's linked to MMAE, monomethyl auristatin E, which is a potent drug that disrupts cell division, effective against MCRPC cells in lab studies.
Anything unique about its design?
One interesting feature is its drug-to-antibody ratio, or DAR. It's just one.
Only one drug molecule per antibody. That sounds low.
It is relatively low. The potential benefit is that it might allow for higher overall doses of the ADC to be given safely, possibly reducing toxicity compared to ADCs with higher DARs.
Interesting trade-off. Did it work well in models?
It showed strong anti-tumor effects in patient-derived tumor models, even those with low to moderate PSMA levels. That suggests it might work for a broader patient group, not just those with super high PSMA.
Safety.
Animal studies in rats and non-human primates looked favorable, indicating it circulated well and had a potentially wide safety margin. Early days, but promising.
Okay. Lastly, let's talk about BTEEN1. This one sounds quite different, focusing on bone metastasis.
Yes, BTEEN1 has shown some really remarkable results in mouse studies, specifically looking at prostate cancer that is spread to the bone. It's described as a first-of-its-kind therapy.
How does it work? Is it also dual action?
It is, in a way. It's a heterobifunctional compound. One part is a selective inhibitor of cancer cell movement designed to stop the cancer cells from spreading within the bone.
Okay, stopping local invasion. And the other part?
The other part is a bisphosphonate group. Bisphosphonates are known to bind tightly to bone mineral, especially in areas where bone is being broken down or remodeled, which often happens with bone mets.
So it inhibits movement and anchors itself to the problem areas in the bone.
That's the concept. And in the mouse studies, it led to a significant reduction in bone destruction, about 62% measured by CT imaging in mice that already had bone metastasis when treatment started.
That's substantial. Did it affect survival?
Yes. In another model, where they simulated widespread metastasis by giving the treatment before injecting cancer cells, the mice treated with BTEEN lived longer, and the survival benefit increased with higher doses.
How does that compare to current bone drugs?
Interestingly, the standard bone-protecting drugs they tested alongside it, bisphosphonates and denosumab, didn't show the same kind of survival benefit in these particular models.
So BTEEN1 seems to be doing something more than just protecting bone density.
It seems so, possibly by directly impacting the cancer cell's ability to thrive and spread in the bone environment.
What about safety for BTEEN1?
Lab safety tests looked good. It apparently showed no toxicity even at extremely high doses, thousands of times the effective dose in mice. And it also showed positive results across the NCI-60 cancer cell line screen.
And compatibility with other treatments.
It appears compatible, and there's also potential it could inhibit cell movement in other types of cancers that destroy bone, not just prostate.
Right. So to wrap things up then, we've looked at quite a range of approaches today. Several new therapies, ADCs, bispecifics, immunotherapies, all showing promise in early trials, both clinical and preclinical.
Definitely. Lots of activity, particularly targeting advanced and metastatic disease, which remains a major challenge. Different mechanisms, different targets.
But it's crucial, as always, to stress these are early days for most of these.
Absolutely. The ongoing and upcoming clinical trials are really where we'll find out if this promise translates into real, meaningful benefits for patients in terms of safety and effectiveness.
It really highlights just how complex cancer treatment is and the sheer amount of ongoing effort trying to find better, more targeted ways to fight it.
Constant innovation and evaluation.
Indeed. Well, that's our deep dive for today. Stay strong and happy Easter.